timbers!
Welcome, Buccaneers, to the Pixel Pirate vlog. This is your host, the Pixel Pirate, and today we are having a very Valve-centric episode. There are two bits of news that came across my table that are very interesting, I found. First of all, the Counterstrike Golbal Offensive Maps Workshop is now open. So there is a central hub for anyone who wants Counter-Strike maps, which is awesome because it allows way more creativity. And I don't know, like I used to make maps, not very good ones, but when you have a hub, a central hub where you can put your maps or put your creative works that you've put loads of time into, you're more likely to make more, especially if the map becomes popular. So I think that's a fantastic way for Valve to continue their, continue global, or Geo, I'll call it, Geo's continued existence, its lifespan. Its lifespan's going to increase, that's basically what I'm trying to say. And Valve are freaking excellent at this kind of thing. Like, creating a environment in which a game can thrive for as long as possible. I mean, you look at Counter-Strike 1.6 for crying out loud. It's still going. Like, it's still going. And I really feel like it's... for me, it's a passionate issue because the gaming industry at this point in time are removing things that increase a lifespan of a game so that they can do yearly releases of games for example, Call of Duty. And it's really sad because you're seeing the death of things like mod tools, map tools, dedicated servers for crying out loud. And what it's creating is really honed in gameplay where they provide the mods and you only get one or two. And that's it for the year, and then next year you have to buy a $60 game again if you want another one or two, which really sucks. When you compare that to something like Counter-Strike, any Counter-Strike, where you got mods everywhere, like everywhere. There's so many mods that you can get to cater for any kind of gameplay need that you might have. And not to mention maps. Maps are even like more prevalent. So... And these are the reasons why Valve games last so long. And they can continue to bring out new games and have people buy them whilst their old games are still popular. So, I know, I feel like I'm ranting now, but game companies in general really have lessons to learn from Valve. But the thing is, they're unlearning lessons because they used to do all this stuff. Like mod tools, map tools were sort of like staple diet for gamers. Not even 5 years ago. Developers, like if you didn't create mod tools, you're like, what the hell's going on here? This is a travesty, And nowadays it's commonplace, very commonplace. You don't even have dedicated servers. And the dedicated server issue only took something like, I'm just trying to think, maybe 3 years to completely be removed from existence. I'm even surprised that Golbal Offensive has dedicated servers because people just don't make them anymore. And they say it's too much work and you have to invest extra time and it's taking away from the game, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is they don't want the game to last. It's obvious to me. They don't want the game to last because they want to be able to sell higher amounts of the next rendition of the game that comes out the next year. So, anyway. I really went off on a tangent there. The main story was that the Maps Workshop is open for CSGO, so go check it out. The other thing that caught my eye was on Gamer Sutra was Gaben, good old Gaben. He did an interview, or rather, he did a keynote, I think, somewhere. I didn't actually read the whole article, but I'll put the article in the description for you, as well as the blog post about CSGO. And basically, he said some very interesting things about Greenlight, namely that he thinks it's no good, that he has generated, or that Valve have generated a sort of bottleneck unintentionally, where they're the dictatorship that determines that games should or shouldn't be on Steam, and he's kind of correct, and I kind of see where he's coming from. And what he was saying is that he wants the ability where developers can just put their game on Steam without any kind of decision making process from Valve, which I think I'm of two minds about it because that could bite them in the ass really bad. Like that could degrade the level of quality games that come on Steam. In fact, it will. It definitely will. There'll be so much crap on there. There'll be, and I hate to say it, but people will come up with games that are crap and try and sell them thinking that they'll make big bucks because it's on Steam. And eventually, the quality of games on Steam will degrade, and therefore the reputation of Steam having good games will degrade as well. And you can kind of see that with Greenlight now, and the fact that Valve are kind of allowing games to come on Steam that probably aren't as good quality as games that from the previous year that were on Steam, if that makes any sense. Things like sort of like Angry Birds. Angry Birds is coming on Steam. You know, like what the hell? You know, that's a polished game, but it's got no substance at all, in my opinion. Maybe that's a bad example, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I have a lot of interaction with Steam because I'm always looking for new indie games and stuff like that, and you see a lot of pretty average stuff on there. Whereas in years past, wasn't so much more AAA games as really polished indie games and AAA games in amongst them. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Of course, it's a good thing for developers. I'm sure developers will think that's fantastic because they'll be able to more easily get an audience. But then again, will they? Because there's so much saturation after that. If anyone's allowed in, then it's just going to be like the internet. You know, so you may as well make your own website and do your own page. But some other things he said that I found interesting was that he wants the Steam store, to become user-generated content. Yes, so basically he wants to create sort of an editorial kind of environment on the store, which means that people can sort of add stuff to. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, basically you need to read the article. But he wants Steam overall over the whole grand scope of what Steam is as far as a content distribution system to be user generated instead of Valve generated. And he sort of draws comparisons to the hat system in TF2. Of course, everything comes back to hats at TF2, as you well know. But yeah, he draws a comparison to that where all the hats, or most of the hats on the store, are user-generated stuff. Like they're able to sort of build hats and stuff. So, and how that's been a great success. But I think the reason it's been a success for Valve is because there are limitations to how you can put a hat on Steam. You can't just make a Steam hat, or sorry, a TF2 hat that allows you to be invulnerable forever and gives you unlimited ammo and you kill everything on the map with one shot. Like, you can't create something like that. So there are rules that exist, and I think that will be extremely difficult to do with the ability for people to put games onto Steam. It will be interesting to see how Valve deals with that. And I think if any company are capable of doing that kind of thing, it's Valve. That's for sure. No doubt about that. But we'll see what's coming in the months ahead. That he's talking about this kind of stuff is very exciting, I feel. that we're going to see some really radical changes in the way Steam is used as a distribution system. So whether that's good or bad is to be seen. But thought that was some interesting stuff that you might be interested in. And of course, as I said, I will put the article in the description. So if you want to check it out for yourself, then go right ahead. And that is all I have for today. So thanks everyone for watching. This has been your host, the Pixel Pirate, and we will see you next time.